Hey everyone, in chapter 4 we're going to be shifting gears from the rough-skinned newt to the stickleback fish. We're going to analyze some data about this fish, about a couple traits, and then make a decision on a couple claims that will happen at the end of tomorrow's lesson. So for today, you're going to read a little bit about the stickleback fish and then analyze the beginning parts of the evidence cards, and tomorrow you will finish up the cards and then make a final decision. All right, let's get started. The stickleback fish are usually, they're small fish. A full-grown stickleback is usually only about 5 centimeters, which is 2 inches long. These little fish live in two very different environments, the quiet lakes and ponds of Oregon and the huge Pacific Ocean. As you might guess from their name, stickleback fish have sharp spines sticking up from their backs. Unlike many other fish, sticklebacks don't have scales. Instead, they have bony plates of armor protecting their bodies. Sticklebacks can have just a few plates of armor for protection, or they can have many. And the less armor a stickleback has, the faster it swims. So here's a close-up image of the stickleback fish. You can see the 3 spikes on its back. And then down here, so this is the 3-spine stickleback fish. This one has less armor and is faster. This one has more armor and is slower. And I want you to notice how you can't actually see the difference really between the armor from the outside. But if you, the ones down here have been stained so that their plates of armor show up. And what we're looking at is this red portion. So what's red is the bony plate of armor. Okay, so as you can see, less armor. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. So there's less armor right here, and then way more armor on this fish here. And then, as they said before, when there's more armor, it's a slower fish. And I think that just kind of is, more armor is definitely a heavier fish, so it can't move as fast. So it says these sticklebacks look identical from the outside, but take a closer look. The fish skeletons on the bottom have been stained to show their plates of armor. What do sticklebacks eat? Stickleback fish may be small, but they are fierce predators. Sticklebacks catch and eat small animals such as worms, small shrimp, insect larvae, fish eggs, and young fish, including young sticklebacks. Predators that eat sticklebacks include other fish, birds, and a predator you might not expect, dragonflies. As adults, green darner dragonflies have thin green bodies, large eyes, and 4 transparent wings. However, these insects actually spend most of their lives underwater. They first hatch as wingless nymphs with gills for breathing underwater. Green darner dragonfly nymphs often catch and eat sticklebacks. So this just means that the green darner dragonfly, before it actually can spread its wings and fly above water, spends a good chunk of its time underwater, and this is at this point in its development, it would use the stickleback as a food source. How can an insect eat a fish? Green darners are large. The nymphs can grow 5 centimeters long, which is bigger than some fish. They eat fast. 2. Green darner nymphs shoot jets of water out their bodies to move quickly underwater. They also have big jaws, which they use to catch young fish, insects, and tadpoles. Sticklebacks are so small that dragonfly nymphs are one of their main predators in lakes and ponds. Another important predator of stickleback is the Chinook salmon. Chinook salmon hatch in rivers, but they swim out to the ocean and live most of their lives there. When they are ready to reproduce, the salmon travel back to the rivers where they first hatched. Because they live in both rivers and oceans, Chinook salmon are comfortable in both saltwater and freshwater, just like sticklebacks. Chinook salmon are big, strong fish. They are the largest species of salmon in the western United States, weighing up to 55 kilograms, which is 120 pounds. These big fish eat mostly smaller fish, including sticklebacks. So this is the Chinook salmon right here.